I hope the $402 million ain't left his bank account yet, then.
Don't God. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane, I ain't gonna f nobody, and I don't want nobody f with me.
Floyd Mayweather has long been known for his extravagant spending, often without much purpose. Now, he's reportedly gone broke after falling victim to a $402 million real estate scam. Recently, Mayweather boasted about purchasing 62 apartment buildings in New York City. However, there was a major oversight. He transferred the money before the legal transfer of ownership was complete. In real estate, this step is crucial as it ensures the lawful exchange of property rights from the seller to the buyer. After being called out by Stephen A. Smith and others, Mayweather finally addressed this difficult chapter in his life and shared his perspective on the situation. Let's take a closer look. Mike Tyson once said that when you're favored by God, you're also favored by the devil. By that, he meant that divine blessings, talent, fame, and success often come with an equally powerful temptation to fall prey to ego, excess, and poor decisions. And perhaps no modern athlete embodies that paradox more than Floyd Mayweather.
When you're favored by God, you're also favored by the devil. He's coming for you too. So you just gotta be strong and stay on the right side. Whose side you gonna go on? He's gonna give you power too. He's gonna get in your head too, but it's whose side you gonna stay with. You stay with who brought you here.
Nicknames aren't given, they're earned. And in the case of Floyd Mayweather, being known simply as Money wasn't just clever branding. It was a reflection of his larger-than-life persona, built through years of sacrifice and domination inside the boxing ring. He fought his way to the top, putting his health and legacy on the line to amass a fortune that most people can't even dream of.
I knew that he felt like this. He'll buy stuff for you to keep you around. His temperament, there's no balance. Like he can do anything and they still stay there because it's like
But while Mayweather mastered the art of making money, his choices when it comes to spending it have raised more than a few eyebrows. He has consistently flaunted his wealth, bragging about multi-million-dollar watches, rare luxury cars, and private jets. He's even gone so far as to burn stacks of cash on camera, not as a stunt, but seemingly to prove a point, that he has so much money he can afford to treat it as disposable. In several public appearances, Mayweather has been seen carrying duffel bags filled with cash, literally showing off his wealth by the pound. Whether it was courtside at a basketball game or walking into a club, he made sure people noticed. That level of flamboyance is exactly why the nickname Money stuck.
He chillin'. He don't say much. So it's nothing like riding on the
However, all that reckless indulgence in material excess pales in comparison to his most recent financial misstep, one that could very well be the tipping point toward bankruptcy. It's not about watches or cars this time, it's about a staggering $402 million real estate blunder that could bring Mayweather's empire to its knees.
Me that a black person got to go up there and buy 62 properties, you know what I'm saying? And then the number that he said he spent, $402 million, that's an astronomical figure. You understand what I'm saying? That man risked his life to make his money.
As some of you may already know, Floyd Mayweather recently made headlines by announcing a massive real estate acquisition, 62 apartment buildings in New York City. He proudly declared that this was part of his growing empire, once again reminding the world of his seemingly unstoppable ambition.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over.
In the same video, Mayweather can be seen strolling around what he claims are his newly acquired buildings, showcasing the properties with confidence and pride. This was, in his eyes, a moment of vindication, proof that his previous talks about diving into real estate were more than just empty words. He had, as they say, put his money where his mouth is.
And I'm pointing like this because all of them, we're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do.
However, sharp-eyed viewers couldn't help but notice a glaring inconsistency in his statements. Initially, he boldly claimed to have purchased all 62 buildings, but not long after, he seemed to walk back that claim, stating instead that he hadn't bought all of them, only a few. This abrupt shift in narrative raised eyebrows and cast a shadow of doubt over the entire deal.
It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me. Guess what? You can do the same. It's all about making power moves.
Mayweather also made a point to emphasize that he had no partners in this venture. He was the sole investor, calling all the shots and shouldering all the risks. While that might sound empowering, it's a dangerous game to play, especially in a world as complex and cutthroat as real estate. Going solo means no safety net if things go south. One of the first to publicly call out the red flags was renowned boxing journalist Stephen A. Smith. Known for his candid opinions, Smith didn't hold back, expressing serious concerns over Floyd's financial judgment. In his view, this deal wasn't just questionable, it was potentially catastrophic.
Which is why I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather.
Smith went on to explain that he understands Floyd's relentless hunger for more money, more success, more ventures, but he urged Mayweather to slow down, warning that these reckless business decisions could have irreversible consequences. Smith's words were not just criticism, they were a plea for Floyd to protect himself from his own worst instincts.
Which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never gonna stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop.
At the heart of Smith's argument was a simple truth. Floyd Mayweather is a fighter. Boxing is his arena, his gift, his legacy, not real estate investment or high-stakes business dealings. While ambition can be admirable, overreaching outside one's expertise can lead to disaster.
Space, and what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
And now, with reports suggesting that Floyd was already in debt, even owing money to certain individuals, this alleged $402 million misstep could be the final nail in the coffin. If true, it's a financial blow that may be impossible to recover from.
Lose what happened? If he'd pay me. I wish you'd pay me.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
As rumors began to swirl about Floyd Mayweather being the victim of a major scam, the story didn't go unnoticed, especially by those who have a history of publicly trolling the champ. One of the first to jump on the bandwagon was none other than rapper 50 Cent, who has had a long-standing on-again, off-again feud with Mayweather. On April 8th, 50 Cent took to social media to take a jab at Floyd, posting the now viral video of Stephen A. Smith exposing Mayweather's alleged downfall after a $402 million real estate scam. In true 50 Cent fashion, his caption read, "Damn champ, they caught you cappin'. Ha ha ha. Time for another exhibition, lol," while also tagging his own platform for maximum exposure. Floyd, clearly irritated by the buzz surrounding his name, didn't stay silent. He went online to express his frustration, calling out those who constantly talk about his private life and business ventures. He made it clear that he was tired of the public scrutiny, especially when it comes to his finances and personal choices.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing. What Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I...
In a follow-up statement, Mayweather emphasized that he doesn't bother anyone and expects the same respect in return. His message was simple: let me live my life and I'll let you live yours.
Don't got it. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane, I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fucking with me.
But all of this raises one key question. Why are there so many rumors suggesting that Mayweather was scammed in the first place? Well, it goes beyond social media jabs or celebrity gossip. One of the most glaring concerns comes from the inconsistencies in Floyd's own statements. At first, he boldly claimed he had purchased 62 buildings in New York. Then he scaled that claim back, admitting he had only bought a few. But perhaps more damning than the inconsistencies is a far more serious issue. Reports have surfaced that Floyd Mayweather has not yet completed the legal transfer of ownership on the properties he invested in.
Now we hearing this report that it's saying Floyd don't own that. Yeah, I went and read the report, and I'm saying it's saying that usually deals, and I'm saying when you, like, after they done, you see that it was a transfer of ownership. There's no transfer of ownership on these properties.
In the real estate world, the transfer of ownership is a critical and legally binding process. It involves formally transferring property rights from the seller to the buyer, typically through a document known as a transfer deed. This document is what legally grants the buyer the ownership rights to the property.
What you mean it's no transfer of ownership on these properties? Champ on the internet talking about he spent $402 million on these properties. I'm hoping this is not somebody just caught Floyd Mayweather slipping. He said he owned them properties with no partners. You heard him say that out of his own mouth.
A solicitor or legal representative is responsible for drafting and overseeing the proper execution of the transfer deed. They ensure that all legal obligations are met and that the transaction is properly recorded. Only after this process is finalized does the buyer officially become the rightful owner, with all associated rights and responsibilities.
However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion rather than full ownership of all 62 buildings outright.
But in Mayweather's case, none of that happened. He reportedly transferred a massive sum of money without securing any legally recognized ownership, an oversight that could cost him everything.
Floyd Mayweather has publicly claimed to purchase 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan for $402 million, aiming to enhance affordable housing in the area. While these claims have been widely reported, the exact details and confirmation of ownership are still subject to verification.
This could be more than just a financial blunder. It might very well be the pivotal moment that marks the beginning of the end of Mayweather's luxurious lifestyle. A tragic turn from excess to potential bankruptcy. Time will tell whether Money Mayweather can bounce back from this, but one thing is certain, the stakes have never been higher. But what about you, fight fans? What's your opinion on Floyd's financial situation? Do you think he'll be able to come back from this? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.